if this is connecting. I hope that we have a network, because we tried to connect and it keeps on saying not connected. So let's hope that this live stream has connected this time. I don't usually go live at this time, so let's see who joins. Let's see if anybody's joining. I hope that this stream is public and I didn't accidentally go live and it's not a public stream, because sometimes, yes, there we are. We got people joining. Is it falling off? Probably because your fabric is slippery. So maybe that's why, because your fabric is slippery. There we go.
Okay.
So let me know if you can hear us. Can you hear us? We've got microphones on. I want to make sure you can hear us. Here we are live and gonna have a conversation with Prince.
Yep.
Prince is in the tourism space. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Haija Israel, thank you for joining. We're talking tourism in Ghana. Tourism in Ghana. We just connected here. This was not a planned live stream. This was just by chance.
Yes.
I was here being interviewed by a young woman who's doing a documentary in Ghana. She's talking to women in Ghana. She's in town from the US to do her documentary, and so I agreed to meet with her to have a discussion. She interviewed me for her documentary, and then we had just finished, and he was walking by, and then he asked me, Ivy, what's going on? What's going on with Panifest? What's going on with Panifest? Right now, Panifest is happening, and Panifest is a Pan-African festival, and it's happening right now. They've had activities since the beginning, middle of July. They started in the Upper East region, and they did a pilgrimage through Ghana, and they ended up in Cape Coast.
Cape Coast, yeah.
And so the replay ceremony for honoring Pan-African leaders, Kwame Nkrumah, George Padmore, and W.E.B. Du Bois. So they did that. I didn't go this year. I had actually wanted to go to that this year, but unfortunately I wasn't able to make it. And Panifest activities, they officially launched in Cape Coast with some activities on the weekend. I believe it was this past weekend, but I also wasn't able to make it. I'm not going to be able to make any of the Panifest activities this year. So he's here asking me what's going on with Panifest, because over the years, people have been used to seeing me at all of these activities, because I was working with Ghana Tourism Authority, with Year of Return, Beyond the Return. And so I was actively involved in a lot of these activities and events. And this year I've not been at the festivities, but I'm still very much involved in promoting Ghana, building up my YouTube channel, the community of you who follow and watch all of my content, where I've been focused mostly now on interviewing people who are in Ghana, whether they're visiting or they're living here, and sharing their stories and their experiences. So I've been doing a lot more of that. I do intend on doing more travel, but right now the travel had been a little bit scaled back. And so Prince is in the travel and tourism space. I also have a tour that I'm marketing that you can book. My tour is October 6th to 16th in Accra, and there's also in March 2026. I'll put the link in the description once we finish this live, because right now I'm streaming off of my phone, so sometimes it's tough to have conversation on the phone and then also be putting things into the comments. So I will put the link to my tour in the comment section once this live is over. But for now, Prince also has his tour company, and I want him to talk a little bit about what he does as far as travel and tour here in Ghana.
Oh, okay. Hi, guys. Greetings to everybody watching us today. And I will entreat you to visit home if you've never been to the soil before. There have been calls all the way from Marcus Garvey, W.E. Du Bois, your great-grandfather, who happens to be one of the pioneers of Pan-Africanism here in Ghana and across the diaspora. Define who you are as a person, and by doing that, it's taking a trip home. Because what I know is if you want to really understand and know who you are truly, you need to go back to your root and know who you are before you can excel in many of the things that we are expecting our lives to be. And so you are welcome home once again. My name is Prince Adams, and I'm the CEO of Olives Travel and Tour Ghana. Yeah, we do tours within West Africa, that is Ghana, Togo, Benin, the Ivory Coast, Senegal, and then also the Gambia. We do Nigerian tours too. Yeah.
That's great. That's really great. So what are your thoughts on the recent announcements of Sierra getting citizenship in Benin, Spike Lee being made tourism ambassador with his wife in Benin, because you mentioned doing tours in Benin.
Yes.
What is it like there from your experience? Because I've been to Benin twice, but when I went, it was on business with my uncle. So I didn't do a lot of tourism exploring. I would like to go back and do more of that, but I would love to hear from you what it is that you think that people should see in Benin.
Oh, okay. So now, Benin, under the new leadership of Patrice Talon, the current president, is doing an amazing work over there. I remember the first time that I went to Benin, it wasn't like the way it is today.
Okay.
They just turned 64 this week. They had a parade this week, and almost all the roads in the city, in the country, has been tiled, and it's so beautiful now. New market, new administrative capital is. I mean, Cotonou is being really developed now. So you could see these countries are really pushing for greatness.
Okay.
And as we speak now, Benin has stopped exporting their cotton. Now, under the leadership of Patrice Talon, he has established a cotton industry and a garment industry. So now, polo shirts and other things, V-neck, club tees and other things are being manufactured right in Benin. So this is an excellent way of inviting a lot of the diasporans that are. So you can do Ghana, you can do Togo, you can do Benin at the same time. You'll be shocked. Benin is really, really doing an amazing way. An amazing way.
It's really good that you mentioned that with respect to the cotton. Yeah. I hope that everybody can still hear us, because I noticed that the live stream, it started turning and saying reconnecting. So I hope that you can also see and hear us. I'm actually opening up my other phone so I can watch and see if the connection is still good while we are live. But is it easy to do business in Benin? Because I know that people talk about it being easy to do business in Ghana. Like, I'm not saying easy, but it's easy for foreigners to come into Ghana and start doing business. How is that in Benin, if you know?
Oh, okay, so Benin is a French colony. And so with the French colony, it is a little bit different from the English colony, which is the British colony, Ghana. The laws there are very strict, and unlike here in Ghana that you can do some wave experience and then get things done, in Benin, you have to go through the line. And it's, I would say it's strict, but you'll get a job done.
Okay.
That's how Benin is.
Okay.
The experience in Benin is so different from here.
Okay.
And so the system is more different than here.
Okay.
And so once you are here and are looking for opportunities, under the leadership of Patrice Talon, a lot of changes have happened in Benin for a few years now. And yeah, it's a good place to do business, since the environment is calling for an investors. So once you get there, the good ways and the process to go through to be able to set up a business will be, very welcoming and very easy for you to engage with the authorities.
Well, what are some of the things that people should look for when they choose to travel there?
Okay, Benin is a French colony, so they speak French. So,
do you speak French?
No, I don't speak French. But you see, Benin has Ghanaian Ewe people. So Benin has Ewe, Togo has Ewe, and Ghana has Ewe. Okay. So the people that speak Ewe language in the Volta region of Ghana can travel to Benin and still speak the Ewe language in Benin. but it has some. It's very. It's just similar, but it's the same language, which is the the Ewe language. And aside that too, since it's a French colony, some of the process in America or in Ghana is way different from the system in Benin.
Okay.
So, for example, if you want to, I remember when I was doing a visa to Benin, it is so simple to just go they have this online portal, a visa portal, where you just go there within 6 hours. You have your visa in your email. And even
6
Ghana,
hours?
yes, and even Ghana do not even have an online visa processing portal like what Benin has. We did a group trip last year, May, June, and it was so easy. It was so easy. Once the portal was sent to the group in America, they went there, went through the application. I mean, all the requirements they added, and then boom, within 6 hours time, they had the visa confirmation in their emails.
That's
so that
great.
tells how serious and very business-minded Benin people are.
That's good.
Because even as Ghana, as it is, for so many years, tour operators like us have been talking to the government. Whenever we have the chance to meet with the government, we've been telling government to try to look the other way by introducing an online visa portal where the traveler could be at ease in the comfort of their homes, go on these portals and apply for their visas. And so this is one of the examples that makes Benin an easy place to do business. Their visa online visa portal is one of the examples to look up to. So yeah.
Thank you everybody who's been joining. I see that we have somebody who said, let me see, the city of Cotonou in Benin is so clean, love it. Thank you so much for the comments. We have Shay who says, my partner is 50-50 Benin, Togo. Thank you so much, Shay, for joining the live stream. And Maxime says, it's true, I applied for me and my family of 4. It took us less than 4 hours to receive all 4 visas, very sharp. You see that? Yeah. Meanwhile, in Ghana, it takes so long for people to get their visas, which is really, really a hindrance when people are trying to come here. So it's an unfortunate situation, but it's good for countries like Benin making it so easy for them to get their visas. So coming back to Ghana now, since we are sitting here in Ghana, we were peaceful for a moment. Someone started playing music, so I don't know if you hear the music, but anyway, you are from, wait, you mentioned Ewe. Does that mean you speak Ewe?
No, I don't speak Ewe.
Okay.
But whenever we are going, we have an Ewe driver or a guide to be part of us.
Okay, yeah. All right. So you are from the Upper East region of Ghana.
Yes,
so
the Upper East.
Tell the people watching, I know those of you watching, many of you hear a lot when you hear about Ghana. One of the top groups we hear about is the Ashantis. We always hear about the Ashantis and Kumasi, the Ashanti Kingdom. And then we also hear about the Ghana people, who are from the greater Accra region. We hear about, the Akans in general. You know, the Ashantis dominate the conversations about the Akan, but the Akan people also include the Ekuapim, the Achim, the Fantis, the Inzamas. So we have a diverse group within the Akan, but then we also have the Ewes. We have the people from the northern regions.
Yes, the Bulisas, the Dagombes, the Mamprus people.
So we don't hear much about some of the other regions. So he's from the Upper East region. So I want him to talk a little bit about what is the name of your ethnic group from the Upper East region.
Okay, so Ghana has 16, and with these 16 regions, the north alone has almost about 7 regions up in the north. So they have the Savannah, the northeast, the Upper East, the northern region itself. They have the Upper West region. And so it's the north in general is a very big place in Ghana. And for where I am from, which is the Upper East region, has the Bolgatanga is the capital.
Bolgatanga.
So the Bolgatanga is the tribe known for the Bolgatanga is the Frafra people. Frafra people, that's the tribe in Bolgatanga. Aside Bolgatanga, from there, we are going to Navrongo, which is the Grusi people, and their capital is Navrongo. So from Navrongo, we are going to Chuchuluga, and then Sandema, which I am from. So Sandema, we are called the Bulises, the Bulisa people of Sandema. So that's where I am from. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you're from there, but you live in Accra,
Yes.
I'm curious to know what made you decide to get into the tourism space.
Okay, so actually, I grew up in Kumasi. Take a lot of local, about 6 of them.
Which 6 languages?
That is the Tree language. I can speak Buli, which is the Sandemal, the Bulisa language. I can speak Zema language. I can speak Fanti. I can speak Tree language, and some little Dagomba.
Okay.
Yes, a little Dagomba language. Yeah.
So we always hear people say Akwaba for welcome, which is part of the Akan language. Also, I know Wezo for the Ewe language for welcome. How do we say it in one of the other languages you mentioned? Like connecting. The
Okay,
network.
so-
The network was cutting up a bit. It was a little bit unstable, so I'm going to repeat that. I want him to say hello or welcome in his language from the Upper East region, which is Buli.
Yeah.
Buli. So say, how do we say welcome?
So in Buli, if visitors come in or you are meeting visitors and you want to welcome them, you say Netia.
Nitya.
Yeah, Netia. Yes,
Nitya.
yeah, Akwaba.
Nitya.
Yeah, Netia.
Okay. And then I know that one of the languages from the north, they say Maraba.
Maraba.
Is it Maraba? Maraba. Isn't it Maraba is one of the northern languages? For welcome.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but
You see, this is one of the reasons why going live sometimes is tough from here, because the network keeps saying reconnecting. So I hope that the visual of this video isn't bad. Let me look on my other phone and see how the video. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah. So if you're watching us, please tell us where in the world you are. Let us know where you are and where you're watching us from. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. You know, we're sitting here. It's an overcast day. It's rainy season in Ghana. A lot of people don't realize that June, July, and August are cooler times in Ghana. And I mean, cooler relative to the extreme heat that we normally have, you know? So it's a good time if you can't handle the super, super hot days of the dry seasons. And it's rainy season, but it doesn't rain as much as it used to. Like, it'll rain heavy for a couple hours, then it stops. It'll drizzle a bit, then it stops. Because back in the day, it will be raining every day consistently, nonstop. So that's like climate change.
I believe so.
Yeah, So what are some of the experiences that you love the most when you get your tour groups?
Okay, so the tour actually is an eye-opening, because these are 2 cultures coming together, and for me, it's a personal experience with my engagement with anybody that I come in contact with when it comes to this tour business. Because like I mentioned, it's a tour, it's a cultural exchange for me as a person. I remember there was one time group that we had, and so there's this group that I know, but I didn't know that they had a certain name. These are a hip-hop artist. It's a group. And so in a conversation like this, they asked me, do you know, there's this certain group, I've forgotten this group. It's an American group. They have music.
The Roots?
No. Oh, it's like a gangster group or something.
A gangster group?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
could be anybody.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
NWA?
No.
Wu-Tang? I don't know.
Yes, Wu-Tang.
Okay.
Yes,
I don't think of
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang as gangster, but Wu-Tang?
Yes, Wu-Tang group. I knew about them. I've watched their movies and other things, but I honestly I didn't know that. I mean, the group was called some of the
Wu-Tang
people.
Clan?
Yes, Wu-Tang Clan. And so during a conversation like this, so somebody was playing the music, and I said, "Oh yeah, I know this music." And then he says, "Oh okay, oh this Wu-Tang Clan." And I said, "What is Wu-Tang?" He said, "Oh, this they have their group." So he started mentioning the names of the people in the group, and I said,
Yeah.
"Oh okay, oh I know this, but I don't know this." Oh okay, so that is how. I mean, this is some of the experience that you get in contact with whenever you engage or with people in the tour group or with a tour. And so I've also taken. We had a group to Benin a year ago, a couple, and there was this couple in the group. They are even returning on the 5th of August. The woman was like, "Prince, it's very unfortunate that this time we are not going back to Benin, but I would love to have the voodoo drink again." So the voodoo drink is apeteshi. We call it apeteshi Ghana, but in Benin, they call it voodoo drink because they have this green date with some lime mixed with the apeteshi in a jar. So they cover it for some time and then becomes hard. And then once you take a shot, it works on you really, really hard.
Like work on you in what way?
Apeteshi, you know the apeteshi?
Yes, I know, but you're saying works on you really hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it gets you boost. Yeah, it comes into your eye too quick.
You mean it makes you drunk faster?
Yes, faster.
I see.
And so she was like, "Prince, since you are coming, is there any place that I can get the voodoo drink in Ghana?" Because she loved it. And see, so it's because of the experience in the tour that we are offering, she happens to love a drink. I mean, a hard drink here in Ghana, which is the apeteshi or the voodoo drink. So these are all cultural experiences. Some will also tell you their whole story. I've engaged with people through trips that they are crying. There's some bad experiences that happen to them. And some too, once they come here and they feel welcome, anywhere that they go, people keep welcoming. "Hey, brother, you're welcome home. You need to come back to Ghana. You need to return to Ghana." Our ancestors, we know that, okay, our ancestors did this, they did that. It wasn't, but since you are here, it's a blessing to see you. Hi, brother, hi, sister. Continue, keep coming. Some will just burst into tears and then started crying because they feel at home. They see how the people are very welcoming. Some too will tell us that back home, we didn't know that this were, I mean, some the kind of experience that we were going to get. We didn't know that we had Rolls Royce in the street of Accra. We didn't know, oh, there are some very beautiful homes here. We do real estate tours as well sometimes. If there's people say, "Oh, can we see some homes?" I say, "Oh, okay." And I will do my movement, get one of the best real estate places like the Transatlantic Valley, an amazing estate. You take them on tour to this place. I say, "Oh, so you have houses that looks like Beverly Hills?" I say, "Yeah, we have all these things." So these are all experience that once you offer to the poor, they also exchange it with some experience that will also
I just got my food.
make the whole
So I'm
experience
just
really
asking
nice.
if you have. Okay. All right. Thank you. Can I get some? Do you have salt? This pepper. Some salt. I just want to add a little bit of salt to this.
I saw somebody comment that, about
Oh, some comments.
Ayahuasca.
Let's see the comments.
Yeah,
Is there equivalent to ayahuasca there?
yeah, you know that one.
Answer the question.
Yeah.
I'm eating my
Oh,
yam
okay,
chips.
yeah, yes. There's a soul travel. I mean, that Ayahuasca thing that you mentioned is a soul travel thing, and I know some people, yes, that are into that. If you want to do it, there's a process that you have to go through, and there's also a fee. I went there to inquire myself some time ago, and I wanted about that. So when I came to Ghana, I did a research and found places which has, I mean, there's a woman somewhere around the Kaswa area that is into that. And so, yeah, they have that experience here. If you want to go on a soul travel, yes, they have it here.
Okay. Quick question for you is, did you learn about the transatlantic slave trade when you were growing up in school here?
Yes, we do.
What did you learn about it?
We learned that, but actually it wasn't deep as when I entered into the tour business.
That's why I want to know. I want to know how much, because I didn't go to school in Ghana. I went to school in Canada. I was born here, but I went to school in Canada. What I want to know is, how much did you learn about the transatlantic slave trade? Because from my understanding, a lot of Ghanaians don't have a deep understanding, and that becomes a disconnect with the diaspora when they come, because they know more and want to see these places, and sometimes local people don't. So please explain how much you learned.
Okay, so
when you were in school, and then how much you realized after you started getting to this industry.
Okay, so yeah, when I was in junior high school, Form 1, we went on an excursion to Cape Coast Castle. That was my first time going to the Cape Coast Castle.
And how old were you?
And I was about 10 years, 11 years that time.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 years. Was junior high school one, and so yeah, we did that. We also, because we learned on a topic regarding the transatlantic slave trade during that time, and for us to see the school also organized a trip to go see the cast. How I first soaked into the knowledge of the transatlantic slave trade. Yeah.
Okay, but when you went for the first time, what do you remember what you thought when you were 10, 11?
Yeah, I was very young that time, so it wasn't much that time. Yes, it wasn't much that time. Yes, we did the tour. We went through the dungeons. I remember we were going back and forth in the castle and other things with a guide.
Yeah.
But as a young boy that time was naive, so.
Okay, we were reconnecting. Now we're reconnected. The network has been just spotty. So explain again. You were talking about when you were 10 years old and you went for the first time.
Yeah, so yeah, that was JHS, junior high school, Form 1. That is when we visited the castle after a teaching on the transatlantic slave trade history in school. Back then we call it social studies. Yeah, we call it social studies. So that's where I learned it for the first time. And after that, I also watched some movies on them, but it wasn't much until I entered into the space of the tourism industry.
So once you entered the space, actually, why did you enter the space of tourism?
Okay, so it's a whole a story on that. I think I had a family member from Atlanta, Georgia, that visited Ghana in 2016, and then she wanted to travel to see. I mean, it was the first time, so they also wanted to see the place. The dungeons, the slave riverside, the slave market, and other things. So I happened to be the tour guide. Unknowingly, I didn't even know much about it, but I did because I had traveled before in the past, and I've traveled to Cape Coast as an adult before, so I knew Cape Coast, and I did that trip with them, and then we went to the Cape Coast Castle. We went to Elmina. We went to the slave Bat River site at the Assassin Maso, and we also went to the Dosu Castle, which is the Christian Ball Castle.
Right.
We went to Jamestown Fort. We went to Osha Fort. We went to a lot of places.
That sounds like
there are even plantations here in Accra. Yeah, there are
plantations.
They have plantations here in Accra around Dodowa, around this area.
Okay.
You know where Trasaco has a a new Micheletti. They have a warehouse around the Pantan area. There's a plantation over there.
So that was a plantation that was used during the slave trade? Is that what you're saying?
I believe so. I believe so. There, we also went to the Ebri Gardens, which happens to be the botanical garden for the colonials at the mountain. We also visited there, and that is how I developed everything. And before we went there, and I started giving them the story of what I read and what I learned from school. So after everything, and then it was about 2 weeks trip. We went to Kumasi, we went to Cape Coast and all these places. So on the last day for my people to leave, and that time I was in school also that time, and so I was told by the family member Prince, are very knowledgeable about these things.
Yeah.
Why not make a business out of this? And that was it. So they went back. She went back, and I sent an invitation link on Facebook, and then she accepted, and she became my first follower of the business that I started, which is Olives Travel and Tour Ghana, and then she followed me, and that was the journey to establishing a travel company here in Accra, Ghana. Yeah, and the rest is history. Yeah.
You said it's Olive?
Yeah, Olives.
OLIVES.
Yeah, Olives.
Why Olives? I'm curious why you maybe use your name or something.
Okay, so Olives, because that time I was a church boy, and so a church that I got baptized in as a young boy after school. I also encountered my first, growing up as a young boy, some of the things that we do normally encounter growing up here, I don't know about people's experience, but for me, after school, I encountered a lot of downfalls and other things as a young man. So one time, it was on a Sunday evening, I used to stay around Jolu. And so every Sunday morning, because I was so depressed and a whole lot of things and other things, I used to go sit at the roadside, just trying to watch the car passing and other things, just to beat time and other things. So I had a voice telling me to stand up and cross the road to the other side, and which I did, and I kept walking, not knowing where I was going. So on my way around Jolu, I saw a gentleman comes out from a house, and he came out from this gate to the house, and then he stood in front of the gate and was looking at me coming from afar. And I was like, but why is this guy looking at me that way?
Yeah.
So I crossed the road to the other side, trying to avoid him, which I did. And so he started walking side by side with me whilst I was at the other side. So we got to a hotel called El Beam Hotel, and then he stopped me, and he asked me, where am I heading to? And I said, I don't know where I am heading to. And then he called me, say, come, we have a church here. I want you to join us for service this evening. And it was around 5:30 p.m. in the evening. And then once he asked me to join them in for service, I started crying. Tears started rolling, because already I needed somebody to talk to that time. Which all this while, because I didn't have any family here in Accra, all my people were in Kumasi, and I was alone here in Accra, so I didn't know anybody here. And so what happened? So after that, I joined them, the service, and right at the service, when I sat to listen to the word of God from the man of God, Jesus Christ, it was like the words that were coming was prepared for me that very day. It was just piercing through my heart, and I kept crying whilst listening, soaking into the word. And after that, all the pain that had harbored in my heart for that quite long time, everything vanished. And after that, I was introduced to the man of God, and then he prayed to me, he prayed for me, and then asked me to join them service the next week.
Okay.
And the church name is Olive City Ministries.
Okay.
And that's how Olive's Travel and Tour came out from.
Okay.
Because I felt like, okay, the church really helped me, because even after that very day encounter with the, going to the church,
Yeah.
from 2013 to 2020, I was at the church. I grew up through the ranks, and then I became the youth organizer of the church.
Wow.
Yes, I went through the ranks, became the youth organizer of the church. I also became the personal PA of the man of God.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was taking me all over the place, to radio, to this place, to this, and other things. And so yeah, the church impact on my life.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I adopted the name Olive.
Okay.
For my business name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the story behind it.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. I just want to acknowledge some of the comments. I'm just reading them off of my phone, my other phone. We have Elijah Israel, who said the video is good. Mama D and Malachi here in Asinfoso, Ghana. Thank you so much for joining us today. They also said voodoo drink. Wow, back to the story what you were telling about the voodoo drink from Benin. And then Synovia Indigo says it's the adults' responsibility to teach and sit down with the youth to instill in them the importance of the slave trade. Keep reiterating this important history to the children, which include their ancestors as well. Peace and love to the host and the special guest. Thank you so much. And she continued to say, more religion, less history. And then Kwame Lutunji, thank you for joining. You said, hi, Ivy and everyone. We'll have to catch up as I'm at work. No worries at all. You always join live streams. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody who's joined the live stream today, because I know that it's the middle of the workday for people. Whether you're in Ghana or you're, in the US, I know it's the middle of the workday. What time is it right now? It is 3:25 in Ghana. Oh, I just checked my watch, my caveman watch. If you want a nice watch in Ghana, made in Ghana, caveman watches, luxury watch brand in Ghana. I'm also going to acknowledge, because I get people who, support me with, with their creativity and stuff. And this one the necklace is from Sinov Couture. Sinov Couture. I'll put all these in the description once the video is over and I get a chance to type all the information. I'll put the link. So Sinov Couture is where this necklace is from. It is brass solid with the cowrie shell looking detail here and the beads. Nice. Like, it's very nice. And then my earrings and my ring is from Quimsa Afrique, which is another brand here in Ghana. So I try my best to support local. You can check them out. I will put the links in the description when this video is over. And I'll also put the link to his travel and tour company, so you can reach out to him if you want to go on one of his tours. And then I also have a tour that I have coming up as well. So, you have your options on what you want to do. You've been doing this for how long now?
Since it actually started in 2017, but I registered with the government of Ghana in 2018.
Okay, all right. So you've been doing this for a while. So you're experienced. You are somebody who has the knowledge. What is something that people don't often do that you think is a must do in Ghana, that people gets missed? Like, what is an underrated thing that people don't know about?
You mean the diasporans or Ghanaians? Anybody,
whether it's diasporan or Ghanaian.
For Ghana here, I think back to one of the comments that said that the elders in Ghana has to sit the younger ones down and explain to them how the slave trade history and its impact on the people. You see, this is my take on that. I believe they have to, and it's also being taught in school, because in our history books we have these in our books that have been taught in schools.
But I find it's not deep though.
Yes, and that is what I'm saying. You see, sometimes an experience, if when somebody goes through an experience, the testimony of that person is more wider and more heavy than a person that have been brushed or been just given a little information about something. Let me say it this way: with Olive City Ministries, no better person can explain it more than me. So when you look at how Ghanaians, though it's not that we have forgotten that we have brothers and sisters that were sold into slavery, we know and understand how the process is. But you see, it is for over time, we really, because we didn't experience what happened through the slave trade time, we are not really holding on to that experience.
Do you know why?
You tell me.
The education system in Ghana is very much influenced by the Europeans, the British. So you have a school system that was created by the very people who were doing it.
Yes.
So if you have an education system that glosses over it, because I had somebody tell me this, I don't know if this was your experience, but I had somebody tell me that in their history books, they almost made it look like the slave trade was okay because it helped them, it helped the country. They gloss it over and gloss over the colonialism part and make it look like it wasn't as bad as it actually was. And I think about it as how right now in the US, I'm hearing stories about books being banned, written by people of color, books that are being banned in school systems. And all those books being banned are written by Black people, Latino people, like they're being written by people of color who have stories to tell that impact the truth of history and the truth of experiences. And it's almost like they're whitewashing the history now.
Yes.
So if you whitewash the history, the future generations are not going to know the depth of what it was.
Great.
So the same thing here, the school system has whitewashed the history by giving it and the perspective of the European, and it's glossed over and not gone deep.
Yes.
So unless the students get an opportunity to have an excursion to the slave forts, they don't always get the in-depth experience, because I've learned that not all the schools go there. Some of them do, like how yours did, but I've learned a lot of them don't even go. Yeah, that's my
it's true.
take on it.
I think that's that was a very good word. The depth of the slave trade. Yeah, I think that's something that Ghanaians are missing. That's something that.
And so what happens is right now, a lot of Ghanaians, I have heard Ghanaians say they wish that their families were the ones that were taken into the slave trade.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hey, this is my first time.
I have heard Ghanaians say that to me. The first time I heard it, I was in shock. And then I started to hear it again and again. And it was people who had the perspective of they wish their families were taken because they think they would be better off, because they think the Black people in America have it better off, because they're looking at it at an economic perspective. They're looking at it as, oh, well, they're over there, they have opportunities for business. They're over there, they have opportunities to, be paid well when they have their jobs. They have opportunities so they're looking at it from an economic perspective, thinking they wouldn't be in poverty or they wouldn't be in the situation they're in if their family was the one that was taken over there, that they would be living a better life. I have heard Ghanaians say,
really?
Yes.
I think this is my first time, because
multiple times I've heard people say that to me, and I'm not the only one. I met someone else who told me that he was shocked when he heard a Ghanaian say that to him, and he's an African American, and he said he was shocked. Yeah, the first time I heard it was, I think I was in the Volta region on a tour when someone said that. And then I met someone and I had interviewed him on my channel. His family was supposed to be, I think it was like his great-great-grandfather or something, was supposed to have been taken on that slave ship. And then he was left behind because the chief in that community said that his ancestor was to stay with him and become a servant to him in there.
Okay. Yeah,
so this guy this guy is still serving that chieftaincy, and he knows this history that his family was supposed to be taken, but they weren't, and he ended up still being in Ghana. Yeah.
With during that time, even before the European arrived, we had a kingdom, wars and tribes wars across. You see, and that's how some of these kingdoms that we do have here in Ghana, the Dabon Kingdom up in the north. There's also a lot of kingdoms up in the north. But the thing is, it is the Ashanti one that is really
that gets a lot of public,
yes,
public, you know, sharing of information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the reason, because more people were even taken up from the north during that time. More men were taken from the north. All these men that you see, the tall men among our folks in the state, are mostly Northerners.
Yeah.
Mostly Northerners.
Yeah.
Mostly of them are Northerners.
Yeah.
The basketball, stars and all these people that you see, most of them are from, the north. The Mamprusi people, the Dagomba tribe. These are giant men.
Yeah, the tall guys are in the north. The tall guys are in north. Most of the tall guys are in northern Ghana, and most of the tall women. So that's why sometimes people think I'm from the north. But you know, my mom is a Chim from the eastern region. My father is Ewe from the Volta region. My parents are both tall. So there's height on both sides of the family, but typically the height is in the northern parts. So back to the comments. We're gonna wrap up soon because I sort of held him hostage, got him to come on this live. It wasn't just a couple more comments. Sunovia said it's so important for us to network together.
Yes.
Cap said your guest healed from nerve issues. And then Sunovia said, I'm moving to Ghana for peace. I've been there 3 times. Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that you're going to be. Can you hear us now? I had to pull the mic out because a phone call came in the middle of the live stream. That phone call. Can you hear us now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I hope you can hear me now. Okay, perfect. We had these mics plugged in and a phone call came in my phone, and the phone call is what kind of disconnected us. So we just took it out. But we're wrapping up now. We've been on here for about 49 minutes. And so, you know, he's been sharing what he does with his travel and tour company. I also have tours coming up too. I'll put everything in the links in the description so that you can check out his page. You can also check out mine. If you love the content that I'm sharing here on my channel, please feel free to support the channel. I will put the link. You can support the channel through Zelle, and the Zelle is through email, which is info@ivyprosper.com. Or you can support through PayPal. The link will be in there. If you are looking for consultations to Ghana, you can also book a consultation. The link will be in the description. If you are looking to buy my book, I have a book, which is Your Essential Guide on Moving to Ghana. You can tap that link. And also, I have a newsletter that I've just started. You can subscribe to my newsletter and then download a free ebook. So I'll put all these links in the description when this video is done and I'm able to get on and type to put them all in there. So yeah, support. This is a lot of hard work. People think that doing YouTube is easy and you just, you know, pop it up and you're on there and it's easy, but it's hard work. You know, taking the time to figure out what our audience wants to see, what they want to hear, and keeping the energy up, because we got to keep our energy up, keep going. And especially if you're doing this full time and you don't have any other source of income, people think that it's easy. You gotta be boom, 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 boom. It's not an easy thing to do. Sometimes you can put so much in and then boom, nothing comes. You think people are gonna love the video and then they don't. Or sometimes you can do a video thinking it's not gonna get traction and then it does. You know, so it's really interesting. But anyway, I enjoy sharing stories from Ghana, and my hope is to start traveling in other African countries to share stories with you from other places. But that all takes money. So either looking for sponsors, I'm starting to look for sponsors, business sponsors, to take some of these journeys. Or if you want to support the channel, you can do through one of the links that will be in the description. So thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. And thank you so much, Prince, for taking out the time today to come and speak with my audience. See you next time. Bye for now.